Nobody would adopt the 100-pound black and tan Doberman. His card said 6 words: knocked a child down, do not place. He sat 287 days while 41 families read those words and kept walking. Then he broke out 3 times, and every time animal control found him at the same iron gate on the same road in Weston, Massachusetts. And what a camera on that gatepost caught at 7:10 a.m. on a Saturday in October would prove that all 41 of those families had been wrong about him from the very first day. The first time Bree Whitaker saw the dog, she thought he was a statue. It was 7:10 in the morning. She was 34, she drove a school bus for Weston, and she was at her kitchen window with coffee when she saw a black and tan Doberman outside her front gate, facing it, dead still, like something carved. She called animal control. They took him. He was back 9 days later. Same gate, same minute. The third time, the officer came up the gravel path and said something Bree did not understand. "He's not coming to your house, ma'am. He's coming to that gate." That afternoon, Bree screwed a $30 camera to the gatepost because a strange dog was standing outside her 5-year-old daughter's yard. Every morning at 7:10, the Doberman arrived. He never touched the gate. He stood facing it 4 feet back until the school bus passed, then he left. His name was Gunner. Bree learned that at Stony Brook Animal Shelter from a woman named Nadia Brandt, who slid a card across the counter. Knocked a child down, do not place. He's been here 287 days. 41 families have read that card. He has never bitten anyone, and he has broken out of here 3 times. Where does he go? Nadia looked at her. You already know where he goes. Bree brought Gunner home on a Thursday. I see you're still here and haven't subscribed. After a dog like Gunner, that stings a little. Tap subscribe. You'll want to see what that camera caught. Bringing home 100 pounds of Doberman is not a quiet event. Gunner walked into the house, checked all 7 rooms, and lay down in the doorway of the mudroom, which faced the front path, which faced the gate. Nell was 5 years old and fell in love with him in about 4 minutes. But he had rules, and Bree did not understand a single one of them yet. Rule 1. Gunner did not let Nell walk to the gate. Not once, not ever. If she started down the gravel path, he crossed the yard and put his shoulder in front of her knees, and he leaned. And 100 pounds of leaning Doberman is not a suggestion. Rule 2. Gunner never barked about it. He never showed a tooth. He simply stood in her way and looked at the gate and waited for a grown adult to come and get her. Rule 3, and this one made Bree laugh out loud. Nell's sneakers. Gunner stole the left one, only the left. He carried it to the porch, set it beside the door, and lay down next to it like a doorman holding a coat. In 3 weeks, Bree found 6 left sneakers on that porch, and never once a right. Her father, Emmett, 71 and full of opinions, said a dog that size would break the girl's neck by accident. The neighbors said worse. In September, at the bus stop, Nell ran ahead toward the gate the way 5-year-olds run, and Gunner hit her from the side. Gunner did not bite. He body-checked her, 100 pounds against 40, and Nell went down on the gravel and split her chin open. A woman across the street filmed 11 seconds of it on her phone. By that evening, the video was in the hands of Weston Animal Control Officer. By Friday, Bree was sitting across a desk being told that a dog with knocked a child down already written on his file, who had now knocked a child down, would be seized if there was a second incident. Nell had 4 stitches and a bandage she was proud of. Bree drove to Stony Brook Animal Shelter on Saturday morning to sign him back. Nadia listened to all of it. She did not argue. Then she went into the office and came back with a folder and a newspaper clipping, and she put the clipping down first. 2 years earlier, in that same house at that same gate, a 6-year-old boy named Theo had pulled the gate open to run to the mailbox. The bottom hinge pin had sheared. 380 pounds of wrought iron came down on him and broke his collarbone in 2 places. The family surrendered their dog the following week. For weeks before it happened, the dog had been knocking the boy down every time he went near that gate. Nobody had ever fixed the hinge. Bree sat in that parking lot for a long time with the clipping in her lap. If you have ever been the only person willing to ask what an animal was actually doing, you already know what she felt. She brought Gunner home. She stopped correcting him. She started watching what he stood in front of. She did not call the contractor that week. She meant to. It was on a list. October 4th was a Saturday. It was 7:10 in the morning. Bree was pouring coffee at the kitchen window. Nell went out the front door in her nightgown, holding a birthday card she wanted to put in the mailbox before her mother woke up. Gunner came around the side of the house at a dead run. The camera on the gatepost got all of it. Nell reached the gate. She put both hands on the iron and pulled. The same Doberman that 41 families read about and refused, the same Doberman that a card called a danger to children in 6 words, the same Doberman that broke out of a shelter 3 times to stand in front of a gate that nobody would fix, Gunnar hit her at full speed and drove her sideways into the grass. 380 pounds of wrought iron came off the post and landed on Gunnar's back. Bree heard it from inside the house. She said later that she did not remember opening the door. She remembers Nell sitting in the wet grass, unhurt, screaming, and she remembers Gunnar underneath the gate, not moving, his eyes open, looking at the child. It took Bree and her father and 2 neighbors to lift it off Gunnar. Gunnar had a fractured pelvis. He needed 2 pins and 6 weeks of crate rest. The vet in Wellesley said a dog 20 pounds lighter would not have survived the weight. For 6 weeks, Nell read to him through the bars of that crate, the same 3 books in the same order every night. Bree never once heard Gunnar make a sound about the pins in his hip. Weston Animal Control watched the camera footage twice. Then the officer closed the file and asked Bree for a copy to show at the county training. Emmett, 71 years old and full of opinions, slept on the floor beside that crate for 6 weeks and did not say one word about it to anyone. Nadia put the story on the Stony Brook page. In 8 days, the shelter received 47 applications, and people were calling to ask about the dogs whose cards had a warning written in the box at the top. 4 dogs who had waited more than a year went home that month. Today, Gunnar is 7. Gunnar limps in cold weather on the left side, always. Nell is 8, and she does not touch that gate, the new one, the one with 3 hinges, without looking back at the dog first. Gunnar still steals the left sneaker. He still lies in the mudroom doorway facing the path. He still watches a gate that cannot fall anymore. We read 6 words on a card, and we never once ask who wrote them. Knocked a child down. Somebody typed that sentence into a form and hung it on a gate, and 41 families believed it. And a dog spent 287 days in a concrete room for the crime of being the only one in that yard who understood what iron does when a hinge gives out. Gunnar was never dangerous to that boy. He was standing between a child and 380 pounds of iron, and no human being asked him why. If you were thinking about adopting, read past the warning. The words somebody wrote about that animal were written by somebody who had not looked at the gate. Learn first, prepare well, then let them do the thing they already know. So tell me, was Gunnar protecting Nell that morning, or had he spent 2 years trying to finish something he could not finish for a 6-year-old boy named Theo? Tell me in the comments. And if a dog the world gave up on ever walked into your life, say their name below.